My name is Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And
this is Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Shark Tale, which currently has a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 6 on IMDb, and a 2.9 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
When a son of a gangster shark boss is accidentally killed while on the hunt, his would-be prey and his vegetarian brother decide to use the incident to their own advantage. Wow, Carl. And to think that's a DreamWorks animated film. Could you believe it?
I could,
Okay, well...
because of the sheer quality.
Okay, well, now hang on, Carl. Before we get into the quality, should we pop on back?
Oh, to a simpler time.
A simpler time.
Before we'd seen it?
Before we'd seen
who could slay the shark?
Slayer. Carl, we're taking a little pause. Guess what? We're back in a big way to watch sharks. Okay, I love sharks.
I love them.
We've got a whole month dedicated to them, and I just think we should just watch more sharks.
We need more sharks.
However, we can't just do adult shark movies because it is the same plot over again. That the sharks kind of eat people.
Yeah.
And guess what? I want to get to the heart and soul of
I
what
want
it
to know
means
what
to be
the
a
fish
shark.
think.
Yeah.
I want to know what Martin Scorsese's doing.
Yes.
I want to know the intricacies and ins and outs of the ocean.
Yeah.
And
It's an
that's why we're
unexplored
here.
part of Jaws. I think Jaws 4 kind of tried to do it, but I just don't think they
And
reached
again,
the
with
ball.
the same cast.
Yeah, it was a good cast, but again, it just didn't have the Steven Spielberg touch. Now you get a John Ratzenberg in there. Is it Ratzenberg?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's John Ratzenberg.
Yeah.
You put that in there and you're going to get a great flick. Now, Carl, have you seen Shark Tale before?
Of course. I mean, who hasn't? This is obviously a big animated movie from our time.
Yes.
And I mean, from the creators of Shrek, of course, I was going to turn
Yeah.
off for this bad boy. I probably loved this as a kid.
Yeah.
And the more I've revisited it, the more I have not enjoyed it.
Crazy. Now, I watched this aggressively as a child. I
Yeah.
would say this is akin to my Shrek. This is sort of like...
Really?
I'd say similar pace, you know?
Yeah.
I think it hits. The guy's name's Oscar, and my name is Oscar. So it's just...
I've never picked up on
good
that.
synergy.
That is huge.
It took me a couple of rewatches to figure that one out. It's a thinker. But
I don't believe you, but I'm happy to take your word for it.
And that's my thing. So there's a lot to relate to, I think, in this flick. So I really enjoyed it. Who do I think is going to watch it now? What do you mean it's not aged well? That's an odd statement to say.
I don't think it's not aged well. I just think that this is a kind of a dull film.
A dull
From
film.
memory that I'm just like, yep, we're doing that, and we're doing this, and we're just getting through it. It's not one I return to in the way that I do Shrek or Shrek 2 or
Shrek 3, Shrek 4.
honestly, I mean Shrek 3 is a bit of a banger.
I think Shrek 3 kind of slaps.
Yeah.
I think the whole Merlin
Yeah.
bit, there's some good
I
comedy
think
there.
Shrek 3's plot's not great, but I love the
plot breaks
jokes.
down. The
They've
jokes
got
are really fun.
whoever punched up that script did a great job. What else is there? I like the first two, How to Train Your Dragons. What else is big in DreamWorks?
Madagascar, that's a little...
Yeah, I think I actually, you know what? I watched to death the first Madagascar. I watched that so much as a kid.
I mean, Ben Stiller, David Schwimmer. I mean,
Oh my
really
God.
can't fail.
Jada Pinkett Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
yeah. We're not getting that. We're not getting that fifth one or
No.
fourth one.
Well, people been asking for that fourth one?
Yeah, they said get Jada and Chris back in a room. They got to work it out.
Fuck, I've never connected those two dots. Wow. So they would be friends.
Sorry?
I didn't even think about the Madagascar slap. Here's the thing, and this is why this podcast is so important. You get to the you get to a new perspective. I had never even thought that they would have been on the same set. Wow. There was history there. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You also had Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
And then I think you've got their flops, which I think is unfortunately this, Ants, Home.
Oh, I forgot that. There's another weird one. Did they do? No, they didn't do the planet ones.
Abominable, I think, was them.
Oh yeah, these are sort of bleeding in. There was a weird period where they were just copying Disney to spite them.
Yeah. Have you seen? Yeah, and I mean, this is. I think just because they'd done Ants, which was land, that they were like, and we'll do the sea, and then I think Nemo was the year before this, so they must have been like, for fuck's sake.
No, Ants and Bugs Life was a famous feud.
Oh,
of,
I know
like-
that's a famous feud, but
Yeah.
I think your natural thing is to be like, that one was
You're not natural. It's like, well, we've conquered land, but sea is an untamed beast.
I do genuinely think if you were like a producer, you'd be like, we've done all the animation and specs for like land, that it's like we would want to flex our muscles and do like a whole other environment.
Yes.
So that's why I think they've both gone to do the sea.
Yes.
Because this can't be in that much of a punch up in comparison to I know Ants and Bugs Life was. I think they both fell into the exact same pitfall of being like, what's an environment we haven't done yet, and it's the sea.
Yeah.
The other ones that they've done were Boss Baby, Megamind.
Okay, Megamind slaps. Boss
Flushed
Baby's not
Away.
bad. Flushed Away also is quite good. You know what? This studio kind of has the gas.
Oh yeah, Monsters vs. Aliens was a bit of a bomb for them.
Yep.
Trolls, The Croods, Turbo, Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Turbo's kind of a bit of a bomb for them.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Road to El Dorado, which I told you I watched recently, and I was like, this ain't it.
Oh, they did Prince of Egypt, which I still think you should watch. Just terrific. The Joseph one you should not watch.
What about B Movie? Where do we stand on B Movie?
I think that's a pretty good one.
Over the Hedge?
Over the Hedge slaps, yeah.
Yeah.
They've all got some good gas, whereas Pixar's got that sort of like, what if it was art? These are just sort of like, what if we're really funny? I think DreamWorks is funnier, not in the moment, and then when I look back, I'm like, well, Pixar's got the gas.
I think their downfall for me is
I'm also 27, so
I really enjoyed them at the beginning because they were doing this like, I don't know, not like I don't want to say like grosser looking animation, but Shrek was sort of like a little bit more filthy, and I think like the fish in this are a little bit more ugly.
it's got a stank to it.
It does.
It's got a Pixar stank.
It does. It has this great stank to it, and I think the stank isn't there for that trailer for the new Shrek one, which is why everyone's so upset. They're like, it looks new, and like smoother and a little bit more
illumination.
It looks a little bit more illumination-y,
and they're fun, and they can spit them out, but
and they're cheap.
They're cheap, but they just don't have that little je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Where are you landing on that trailer? Because I'm still of the mind that I'm like, I think that was a teaser, and I think they've popped it out there, and I think they'll just happily keep chugging along. I think it's like...
Yeah, I don't think they're going to re-Sonicify. I think they're just like, we are... Because that... Oh, no, that...
I think they know in the end, like, obviously you could still have people turn against it, but like... It's families and kids that are going to turn out.
Shrek's
they don't give a fuck
no,
how different he looks.
It's going to make fun.
And you'll sit in... Because obviously, like...
no way that budget's like, I don't know, 250 million, and they're not going to be... It's definitely going to make a bill.
Yeah, and I also didn't want to see that new Puss in Boots movie because of the change in animation style, because I did not like the look of it. And then I ended up loving that movie. I just adjusted to it. So I'm like,
It's a shame, because I don't know what they're going to take away from that Puss in Boots movie in the sense of like either the animation style or going for that kind of level of effort. Because I don't know if it made that much money, Puss in Boots.
Yeah, I think it was a slow roll. I think it did just under 500 million.
Okay.
So I think it is... I
For
would
your
have...
spin-off character, fair enough. Like half a bill. You're like, man.
And I mean, it didn't start hot. I think that was just word of mouth. I just think, like, obviously the Shrek movies have never gotten as serious as that one Puss in Boots movie does. So I think the effort... I think one of the things that caught me off guard about that Puss in Boots movie was how funny it was. So I just think if the humor's there for Shrek... It'll be
Shrek
sweet.
always has a humor.
Yeah.
That fourth one, again, the plot just gets so dreadful, but there's some really good jokes in there.
Yeah. But did you see The Wild Robot?
No, I haven't seen The Wild
okay.
Robot. I need to see that. Is that DreamWorks?
What a spectacle. Yeah.
Okay.
That was another one where I was like, I think DreamWorks is on a good... Between Puss in Boots and The Wild Robot, I don't think they would risk fucking up Shrek.
I don't mind. The animation is literally a quarter of a century old. Maybe update it. It's fine. It has been... God, how many years since Shrek 4? I think like 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
I think so too.
Yeah, I can't remember. But
Yeah.
yes, it seems like a while. Give it a new go.
Yeah. Give it a crack.
Yeah.
Milk that
Yes.
cash cow,
I
baby.
think the most egregious thing was like him scrolling on the Magic Mirror TikTok. You know what I'm saying out loud? That's funny. That is good. I'm all for it. I'm back in a big way.
I thought that was like I think people were like, "Oh god, he's going to be doing this in the movie," and I'm like, I think they've just done it for the teaser, guys.
Guys, they did Far, Far Away Idol. That is egregious. That is disgusting. And everyone looks back like
what a memory.
Yeah,
I love
when
that.
they animated Simon Cowell into the Shrek universe, it was a pivotal moment in cinema.
They had Joan Rivers in
oh
the
my
second
gosh,
one.
the three blind mice.
They've always been the referential one.
Yeah.
Like, I think like even Shark Tale I remember being a very referential film in pop culture stuff.
Well,
So-
now we're back on Shark Tale. Who's gonna watch Shark Tale?
who's watching it? People that love fish.
If
people
you
that love
a
fish.
fillet of fish, you guys are going to love this. If you drive to McDonald's McDonald's during Lent and you chow into a little fillet of fish, you're going to love this one.
You're going to love it. You're going to if you love Sebastian the Whale Washing Dolphin, if you love every person that's into film loves to be like, well, Scorsese does a voice in Shark Tale. I'm like, yes, everyone knows that now. There's nothing fun about knowing that now. Every film fan knows that. And they're like, but isn't it weird?
Isn't it weird? It is weird, but it's also weird that, I mean, like, in fairness, that's such an adult joke of like, what have we got the guy who did Taxi Driver to be a weird guy in our film?
Well, it was like them being like, we got De Niro, we got like the other like gangster actors. They're like, what do we got the director of them too? And I guess in my head, like obviously, Martin Scorsese is like so revered now, but I guess in my head he would have actually been a bigger celebrity before our time, because obviously like he's in Soprano, like he's in he's mentioned in Sopranos, and he's in Entourage.
Yeah, he's synonymous with that gangster flick.
Yeah.
I think in the later part of his career, he's had a bit more of a reshaping of that, and not just being the gangster.
I think
guy.
he's even been way more behind the camera. Is what I'm. It seems like during the time of his rise, he was way more like out in front of the cameras, doing promos and red carpets and things like that. And now he's just with his granddaughter on TikTok, and they're having a ball.
Having a ball.
They're having a ball.
Oh, great stuff. It's his daughter.
Oh, is it his daughter?
Yeah.
God, I just thought he was so old that I was like, no way.
That man fucks. He's got 5 women on his. He's got 5 wives. I think he's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's for Martin Scorsese. I guess if you liked Passion of the Christ.
I guess if you like that Akira Kurosawa one where he plays Van Gogh, you're gonna love this one.
Yeah. I guess if you like. It'll come to me. Nope. Okay. Let's just pan out. Fade away.
Fade away. Carl, Shark Tale. Wow. Wow. How are we feeling after this movie? How are we feeling?
I think I feel the same way, which I maybe do all the time, which is I think it comes hot out the gate, and I'm all in on it, and then it settles into what the movie is, and I'm like, ow. That's me. I think that's my journey with the film. How about you?
I've got 2 thought processes. One, I kind of was going into it going, I know Oscar's a dick. I know, if I remember as a child, I'm like, if I remember what he did, I'm pretty sure he was the bad guy in every situation, and really only by the end did he really recover. I've got a much more nuanced perspective on all the characters. However, I would also like to say, pretty confidently, every joke lands.
I would also say it is very funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I enjoy the beginning of it too. The beginning of it's literally just sea gags.
Yeah.
They're just going all out for it. I think one of the other things I absolutely did not realize, but I was like, whoa, is this movie gay?
Holy shit,
Did you know? Did you realize that? I had no idea.
I think maybe as a child I was just like, a dolphin, isn't that a bit, Yeah. But this is, quite a good... I think quite a good tale for kids. Yeah, good for them.
He finds himself in drag.
Yeah, it's powerful.
And there's like a scene where they're like, look at him, and he's like having a little swing on his seat, and I was like, oh no, I do that. I was like, they're nailing me.
I was gonna say it's definitely like a 2004 depiction of the whole thing.
Here's the thing that's bogging it back. This movie's riddled with stereotypes, and it is rough.
There was like a big movement because I think like the whatever the Christian group is that just like, hey, you're making our kids gay. They were just like, and they were like, no, look, we're mocking all the stereotypes. We've got them all here on display. Don't you worry. We got maybe one thing of the gays, but we're gonna set the movement.
They did this one with Taxi Fish, and I was like, you can't do that one. That one's awful.
Every joke that does land. Every joke that doesn't land, you go, holy shit, why is there like Puerto Rican taxi drivers in like... We should set the scene. It's New York, but fish.
Let's just talk about it now, because it was another thing that I guess I'd never considered. I think we're going to have to give it the Cars treatment, because how the fuck is this world working, right?
I went on a deep dive. I've got so many little clips. Thank you, of all the behind the scenes, and some actors really showed up, some actors did not, but all the animators definitely went in and went, yeah, we really had to think, how do you make a fish world? And they all went, Fish New York. It seemed like they were like, it's such a hard task. But dare I say, Fish New York is kind of the first thing I would think when you think of what do we need to make underwater world?
I guess, do you reckon they then saw Finding Nemo and they went, oh, fuck. They were like, oh, it's so much simpler and it's so much easier as well. Oh, it's just a stingray is like a bus? That's clever. Like, oh, what are their homes? Natural anemones? Ah, fuck.
We have high-rise buildings. We have penthouses.
We have TV screens, a car wash run by a blowfish.
But then they're like, oh, you need to get a taxi? Well, that's just a yellowfish.
Yes, and it's like, oh, so you can't get a taxi. They're just that? Like, nobody's hopping in them. They are just that
Would
fish.
you just jump on? You look like a taxi, so you will look. There's a lot of visual gags that are funny, but you go, what the hell is this world? How does it work?
Yeah, and there's things where you're like, I love this gag of like the sushi restaurant nobody wants to
Yes.
go to, but then a lot of fish do eat other fish, so why weren't they there? And then another thing being like, but yeah, why would they have a sushi restaurant? But then the gag lands,
Yes.
so then it's fine, I guess.
The gag lands. They're throwing 1,000 gags.
They're
at
doing
you.
so, and that's why I'm so into the movie. I also love seeing they do this like Hollywood Walk of Fame with the stars.
Yes.
And I love seeing who they considered were heightened at the time.
Right? There was Muscle Crowe, which I
Yeah.
thought landed. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the other one was. But
There was Jessica Shrimpson, and I was like, oh yeah, they thought she was going to be big.
She's just everywhere for her. For
Yeah.
me, I just hear the Eminem song where he disses her.
Yeah.
What was her whole thing? Was she just like a country singer?
I can't remember, but I just remember she was in like Dukes of Hazzard. She was in like a
Yes.
few films.
I think she was like, again, I don't know, like the sort of like the South Britney Spears.
I think so. I think the industry really wanted to make her something, and I think she maybe had like.
And they went, put her in Shark Tale as a little star. That will cement her as a career. And dare I say, it definitely extended her life period for about 5 more years, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, that's a big get.
The way the industry is, though, she'll just be like nominated for an Oscar in 5 years' time,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
industry will be like, "Sorry, we spat you out."
Oh my God, we really, yeah, I do love it. Just like, oh, cool, you're a has-been now. We're gonna make you a star.
That's Hollywood's new thing is
Yeah.
just being like, "Oh, were we awful to you?
I think
come back."
But I think it's them being like, look, it's a horrible new narrative to just like, listen, even if we spit at you, make you feel small, isn't a comeback story the best? It's actually
Isn't that
insidious.
the Hollywood dream?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Make it in your 20s, get heavily addicted to drugs, we'll spit and shit you down, and then in 20 years' time, you'll do something so utter.
Yeah, that's right.
And it'll
Because you've had the experience of being broken that you're not even really acting. You're just living your life and we all think it's sad.
Sophia Coppola just broke down your doors, started filming you, and you won 2 Oscars. Oh my God, it's a beautiful tale.
This joke culminates with the seal joke, which I
Yeah.
thought was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think these are all happy, fast, but
Yes.
look, let's talk about things. The weight of the water. So everything has. So in terms of how the sea works, because it doesn't get to a point where it's like you'll just start sinking rather than being able to go up.
Now, are you talking for a fish or me?
Well, I'm cutlery. I'm just trying to work out like why are things not floating? Like when they're sitting at a table and eating.
Oh, I
when
see.
When they.
No, I think why wouldn't it sink? Why wouldn't something sink? I think if you throw like in one scene they throw a teacup,
Yeah.
up, and it kind of floats, does a little bit of thing, and then falls back down.
I just think because sometimes things aren't floating the way that they're meant to be, and
What's
then other
not
times
floating? What's
There's
the-
just ones where they're like you come into like a scene, and sometimes there's objects that are floating, and then you come into another scene, and they're all nicely sat on a
Yes.
table.
I
and
think
so
again, and it's sort of the Cars 2 logic. Whatever works. Was easiest on the day is what they've done in that logic,
Yeah.
and they haven't. And dare I say, they've got no integrity.
No.
But that's fine.
But
I don't mind it.
they're also gone after this idea that I think it's not like they've been able to build things out of stuff that's floated to the bottom of the ocean.
No, it's New York.
It's
is
New
just
York.
New York.
No, because they sort of posit the idea that a car wash floated to the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
Because it doesn't look like they've built it from
No,
scratch.
no. And here's the thing: without fire, you're kind of up shit's creek when it comes to creation.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot of steel and like there's like lumber,
Mechanics?
Yeah, I don't know how you're making technology down there.
Yeah.
There's actually mostly robotics down here. And I gotta tell you, underwater that's a bit of a pain. Intelligence-wise, and also there is established food chain on here. What do we think that is? Because they've also introduced that there is like sort of races in the New York. They've kind of got
Yes.
There's like
It's a cultural melting pot.
yes, exactly. But then they've also been like there is a food chain.
Yes.
So,
But
and then-
none of these fish must be carnivores, I guess.
no, I don't know. Oh wait, what do fish eat other than fish flakes and other fish?
Other fish.
Are they all carnivores?
No, well, I mean, you can live off seaweed and things like that. They live off. They live off.
This might be the least.
I've not prepared for this.
I gotta tell you, it really shows that we have got nothing. What the fuck does a fish eat?
Oh my god! I wish I'd done this for prep because
do they eat food? What do they eat? They can't just be seaweed. I think we eat seaweed. They don't eat seaweed.
This is so embarrassing. What do fish eat? What
other than like little flakes.
Other fish, crustaceans, insects, plants, and algae.
Okay.
So you get there's some that aren't eating other fish because, like, goldfish aren't eating other fish. They're eating algae and things like that.
No, they're eating little flakes, which are fish based.
Well, they're fish flavored flakes, are they?
Yeah.
Right. What's a sea monkey eating?
Whatever the little things in the little packaging is. I think sea monkeys are their own separate thing. I think they're like a net. They're like a plankton. God, we really. I really.
You know what's annoying? Because I've done research because I've taken screenshots of what the fish are meant to look like. That's Oscar.
Oh, damn.
Right?
Oh, we're going to have to pop that on the screen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and by the way, Oscar not only looks like that, but guys, you can buy him for $31.99 in Sydney. That's right, I looked up the cost of everybody.
How much is... Okay, good. So there is a price to these people.
Yeah, there is.
Who's the highest price ticket?
Lola.
Oh, Joy. She is a hottie.
$75.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty affordable.
She doesn't look anything like her one.
Well, should we get into the appearance?
You want to know the cheapest?
Yeah. I'd say Angie.
Yeah, you can get 30 of her for $250. Right?
I think,
right?
And here's the problem. I think they've been very cruel with, one, how they've displayed the characters. Because, let's face it, the animation, kind of gross. But it is just seedy New York. But they've got all the fish... And all the actors have come in together.
They're all kind of horny fish as well.
Yeah,
all the whales are like, it's mating season, so make me look pretty. And like, because one of the other things that I was trying to work out is, can fish mate with other species, or do they stick within their species?
Great cue. I don't know whether now I know a shark and a fish can't fuck, even though all the sharks want to fuck Lola. Like they're just like, damn, I'd tap that. But again, a fish's a shark's cock could not fit in that.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether a small fish, like, is it like dog breeding?
Look, I was just trying to look it up, and I was like, would this Lola fish be able to mate with Oscar the fish?
Yes.
And the answer was like, if she wanted to.
Yeah. Okay, so it's more of a choice.
Yeah, so it's like they can go for it,
Yeah.
but I think the sizing, because he seems small.
He did seem quite small.
Whereas
He seemed like a small
she's quite
fish
big.
in a big pond.
She's not accurate to her look at all, in my opinion, just so you know.
Okay, good.
Like, if the listener at home wants to do a little bit of searching, just look up the real fish likes. Because let's talk about the animation really quickly. Why do they all look like the voice actor?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because they've got Angelina Jolie, she's the hot fish. You got Renee Zellweger, which I think she's like...
She's the Bridget Jones fish?
Yes, but they've given her... So she's kind of that like twee 30-year-old British person, but they've also given her this horrible receding hairline.
Yeah.
Because like...
Like she's got her hair tied back.
Yes, but then she's got like a receding hairline. Because I was like, oh, is that just the style? But then Will Smith's character has like a fade.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether... And Sykes, which is the pufferfish, Martin Scorsese is just a pufferfish with the biggest eyebrows.
I know.
I didn't clock the eyebrows until halfway through. I went, damn, that's crazy.
And you got this Jamaican, like...
Bonkers. They
like
are wearing, all their tentacles are dreads and their hats are big, is a reggae hat. But it's actually the jelly.
And I guess the other thing is like, it's a stereotype and it's not cool, but the design's kind of sick. Like,
it's 2004.
But then Jack Black doesn't look like his one at all.
No, I think Jack Black is the only one playing it a character, and as a result, he's playing it this sort of...
Because De Niro looks like the shark. They've
Niro's
given his nose on that shark.
They got the nose, they got the little mole and everything.
Yeah.
I think Jack Black's the only one playing a character, because he's kind of got this whiny gay vibe going about him, which is crazy. But yeah, everyone else is just playing themselves.
It's a very like funny movie in the sense that because like Oscar's so, in my opinion, insufferable.
Yeah.
Like, and then you've got then you've got
Lenny. Lenny the shark is Jack Black.
Oh God, what a name. You've got Lenny, who is sort of the heart and soul, and it's almost like you could do the entire movie, but if it was from the perspective of Lenny, it would probably be
much
better,
more stronger.
Because at the end, when the character arc comes together and you're like, it's nice the dad accepts him, and Oscar's like, hey, can I have no repercussions? And everyone goes, yes, yes you can, sir.
It's bonkers. Let's get into the story. So essentially, Oscar is working at a whale wash. This is essentially a car wash, but for whales.
Yep.
I don't know what...
He's an opportunist.
Yes.
I get it.
His whole he's a hustler, he's a grinder, and he wants an easier life. He will not work for it. He's always got a scheme, and he's sort of pawning off Angie. As a child, I thought he was shitty for not taking her seriously and requesting her love. I do now want to blame the fish.
Yeah.
I think Renee Zellweger's fish has taken the piss. Because this man is obviously a scam artist.
Yeah.
He constantly takes advantage of people, and he never pays you back. I just think, I know love is love, but she should give it up.
He's a flat-out asshole.
He is.
One of the things that I thought was odd for her character is once they've come up with the lie that he is a shark slayer,
Yes.
she just believes it fully. And I think her character is indicated as being more intelligent than that. I almost think she should have been like, I know this is a lie, immediately. Because her whole thing is she should know him better. And that's why she's meant for him, because she knows the true him.
It's displayed that she's sort of on the ball. She is not. At one point...
she seems way out of it.
Totally way out of it. I'm getting ahead of myself. At one point, Oscar returns her necklace, and she thinks he's going to propose. Insane. They're not dating. It's bonkers.
Not even close. It's a bizarre thing to think.
Yes.
Really quickly, I went down a rabbit hole. Not even a rabbit hole. Frankly,
Yes.
while the movie was playing, I got a little bit disinterested. And I was like, isn't it crazy? Pufferfish exist.
Yes.
So I then went down a rabbit hole of looking at how big they get. Because I thought he looked like he was getting too big. But they get massive.
Okay,
and
huge.
so then I watched a long video of a seal trying to eat a pufferfish.
Yes.
And a pufferfish just taking more and more air in. So that it was just getting...
Take a more surface area.
Yeah, to take more surface area. So it just could not get a bite or know what to do with it with its flippers.
Yeah.
And just watch a seal got so annoyed at it. I was like, for fuck's sake, just
I
stop
want to
blowing.
consume you, but you are just a spiky
Yeah,
ball.
let me eat you.
Now, I haven't seen it in a while, but there is a video out there of essentially pufferfish release a toxin. And this is sort of just it's kind of like squidding. It kind of makes me go, I don't want to have that. Now, dolphins have worked out that although it is poison, it actually gives you quite a high effect. So there's this horrible sequence of a pufferfish going, haha, I'm big and spiky, you can't get me. And then a team of dolphins just going to fucking town on this pufferfish, essentially passing around the puffing fish, getting high off this thing. The pufferfish like, oh my God, I'm getting bruised in my... Because it's quite it's an exoskeleton. So it's it breaks it. And the dolphins, they're just abusing the drug.
They should have put that in the film.
They should have. I want to
That
see
would have
Lance
been
Henriksen
crazy.
Get fucked up by Lenny and a bunch of dolphins.
Imagine if he was I got jumped by a bunch of dolphin junkies getting high off my puff.
Here's the thing: if there's any film that could do it, it's the one with the grimy New York vibe. It's just that's what you want in this
There
film.
should have been more muggings in this film.
Oh, totally. I want to see the economic repercussions of the city.
Yeah. Now, what is currency here?
They call them clams.
Right.
And that's a great funny joke, but I don't... What is a clam? Because
we're shown a clam
Yeah.
and they're alive,
Yeah.
birthing pearls.
they're pawning a pearl, which,
Yeah.
again, great gag, but what the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's essentially slavery,
So are they
right?
killing clams and then giving them away? Or is it clams that aren't sentient? What's the currency?
I think it's a dead clam. However, I would say there is a horrible way of doing money. If my $10 note... If I wait 8 years, it's going to produce me something that's worth $300. That's a bad currency.
Yeah.
I would go for a coin-based economy or maybe a Bitcoin thing. Or a fish coin.
I think I just don't know what it would be. I think, maybe it would need to be coins or pearls.
Listen.
What if it was pearls?
Now, pearls are great, but then you've got a species that produces money. I don't
then
know.
I think you'd have, I
If,
think it would be,
if,
you'd have to have them
peop-
banked.
No,
You'd
I
have-
know, but if Italian people farted money, like gold, you'd be a bit like, we can't really make our currency gold.
I know, but unfortunately, history would probably foretell that all of them would then be forced to just fart gold.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so.
So you're saying that there's a horrible, pre-war...
I think the
movie.
movie doesn't want to discuss how disgusting this city is to the clams.
Oh, of course. No, I'm agreeing. By you saying in there was a bunch of clams that got rounded up, pretty much put into a horrible, pooping pearl camp out, and now the pearls have been executed, but now their bodies have been used as currency. It's a messy system.
It's a very messy system because there also seems to be this forced system of the sharks have a sit-down meal where they're having shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
And all the shrimp are alive. They've just got their heads in the sauce.
Yeah.
Why aren't they swimming away? Why are they happily awaiting death?
Because they stay in line, okay? You move away, guess what? The shark's gonna get you. And it's gonna be a slower death. In this currency, you gotta be like, am I gonna die? You're bred to die. You might as well go out, peacefully, Don't run away from it. Own it. Anyway, Oscar owes $5,000 of the currency.
Yeah. And that's worth a single pearl.
Yeah.
And so Angie gives him her grandmother's pearl.
Yes.
And then he bets it all.
Yes.
Dickhead.
This is by far. I was watching this with my partner who had not watched it like for a very long time, and at every point I was like, "Oh no, you got to watch this. This is when our protagonist bets it all on the horses." I'm like, "Excuse me, isn't this a kids' film?" Yes. He goes to the races. Oscar walks in. He's got $5,000. He needs to pay Sykes back, but then he hears two punters. And let's face it, if you've ever been to the horse racing or the dog racing, there's a lot of people saying like, "Guess what? Number 3's got a big advantage." Never listen to these people. They don't know anything.
But weren't they right?
Okay, listen.
Because he would have won if he hadn't tripped.
I know.
So was it rigged?
I think maybe it was rigged, and which asked the question, what the hell?
What the hell's going on there?
Yeah.
I would want to see the movie about rigging seahorse races.
Well, because here's my thing. Of course you can rig it, because what's a seahorse other than an intelligent, like a human? A human to the... Like, it's got the intellect of another fish, right? So it's just like seeing Usain Bolt run. That's what you're betting on, which doesn't feel right.
No. It doesn't.
It doesn't
But
feel
then
right.
how could you rig it?
Well, because you're like, if I say, "Hey, Usain Bolt, throw the race," that's why I'd feel like people wouldn't be that involved.
Yeah.
A horse has got no stake in the game. You know.
What do we
A horse
think
is-
happened to those two fish? Do you reckon they were also killed?
I think they had a similar mob shakedown experience, but it was mainly like squids.
Yeah.
I think there's a bunch of mobs in different. What species? I guess species.
Do you reckon we should go to the tracks and just be like, bet on horse number 9, it's rigged,
Yeah.
and just see how many people do it?
You wouldn't believe how many people conduct their business at a racehorse track, and it's always two roads diverge. Do you pay off your mortgage or do you immediately bet on number 6?
You've got to bet on number 6.
gotta bet on
I'm
number 6.
always a bet at all.
Here's the thing, guys. If you're listening to this right now at the dogs or at the horses, or dare I say human racing, you gotta bet on number 6, and that's a who would watch is guaranteed.
While he's at the race course, he runs into Lola.
Yes.
Lola has one of my favorite lines, which is, "Deep down, I'm really superficial," which I thought was really good.
It's all really funny. I also would love the fact that he's not won the money yet. The bookie's like, "Wow, a 5-to-1 bet, a 500-to-1 bet. You bet $5,000. If you win, that makes you a millionaire." Her ears prick up, or her, I don't know, fins, her fin ears. Just like, damn, some slimy little geezeball is betting on a very low horse to win. This I've got to be entwined with. Do we think she's a high class gold digger, or do we think she's sort of at the start of her run?
Oh, that's actually a fantastic question. It's funny the movie even plays gold digger when she turns around. She's at the race course. It's got to be at the beginning, because where you can't be at the top of your game and being here.
There's a beautiful little A24. Maybe Sean Baker, after Nora, could get into what does it look like to be a starting gold digger?
Yeah,
beautiful
and
little-
a fish.
and a fish.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he was like, "I'm all in on fish now"?
I
Fish sex workers.
$200 million, okay? $200 million. A24, fuck yourself. Disney needs to get on this product. It would be beautiful. And I do think she is a hustler, and dare I say the hero of the film.
Absolutely. Yeah. I loved when she's at a party and Oscar's like, "I gotta go," and she just stays there till he gets back.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's commitment.
I do love... maybe it's a bit gone now, but I do love maybe the early 2000s trope of you're rich, well, there'll be an endless party at your house. And it will just sort of keep going.
I know. If I was rich, I would rarely invite people over.
I'd get Gatsby'd so quickly. I'd immediately become a recluse. I'd be in like a very high ceiling, curtains drawn, bunch of books. I'm not reading them, but just sort of growing out all my orifices, so that sort of...
I'd definitely be throwing all my shirts around.
Yeah.
And just watching my love interest go, "You're so cool with all your shirts."
Yeah.
Or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it would be filmed in 3D, and Baz would do well.
Oh yeah, you have to get Baz involved.
You've always got to get Baz
regardless of
involved.
your money or your way of life.
I want to see Baz Luhrmann's Shark Tale. What does that look like?
It would look fucking a lot. It would be a lot.
I
okay?
reckon Baz Luhrmann has an animated film in him, and he needs to do it. Just like how George Miller was like, "I've got Happy Feet in
Can I
me."
say, most of Elvis felt a bit animated, didn't it?
All of his movies feel a bit animated.
So, Carl, we're watching the races. Sykes is like, don't you fucking dare. How the hell did you bet on
Oh,
a duck?
actually, can we just say something as well?
Yeah, of course.
Isn't Martin Scorsese doing an incredible job?
Martin Scorsese has brought the fucking energy, and this is what because there's some people in this cast, and I will name names, who have not stepped up.
No.
I looked at the behind the scenes, and you can tell who was there for maybe a day. Robert De Niro has got one of the craziest low effort behind the scenes video I've ever seen. I will praise one. Will Smith and Jack Black are doing okay. They recorded it together.
Yeah.
Will Smith's having a bit of fun. I think Jack Black wants to improv a bit. Will Smith is not giving him anything.
No.
Okay. Angelina Jolie has got a smile on her face the whole time. She's like, yep, I'm a gold digger. I'm kind of a bitch and I'm kind of fucking loving it. I think she's great. Renee Zellweger, it's 50-50. I don't mind. The hero of this, Martin Scorsese. Robert De Niro gives one of the worst behind the series. They're pretty much like, so which character you? He's like, I'm the leader of the Sharks, and I own and yeah, and it cuts off. Martin Scorsese walks and goes, Sykes is a character, okay? He owns a car wash and it's a whale wash. He knows his characterization. They've taken my face and they've made it a poor little caricature of my body, but. And here's the thing, and here's where the plot happens. He is so committed, and I think he's so much fun, and it shows how much he's actually in the film. He's also nailing all the rap scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yes.
I think, do we think because it's like early days before like these movies are starting to make like $1 billion and produce like a shit ton of toys and like be integrated into theme parks and things like that, that all of the actors are like, nah, it's a bit of like a cash grab, because voice acting by celebrities now is like so good. Like genuinely, it's so good.
Yes.
Like very rarely do I see now like stunt celebrity casting in an animated feature and not think they're usually doing a good job.
Well, normally, or the ones that you do see, like I feel like Abominable was just like, we are doing, here's 10 famous people.
Oh, I mean, Home has was it
Rihanna
and Sheldon?
Yes,
and you're like, wow, you guys have no chemistry. Shocker.
Which is ironic, because I actually do think in real life they do have chemistry. I think they kind of work, but I don't know. Some people are really having fun with it, and others are not. I should really show you this behind the scenes, because I took a little screenshot, and I'll play the audio here. But Robert De Niro straight up almost calls Lenny a slur. Let me play it for you.
He's the head of the underwater Don Lino.
Your brother Frankie here, he's a killer.
Thanks, Pop.
He's beautiful. He does what he's supposed to do. But you, I'm hearing things.
One of the sons is a little, I can't resist saying this, fishy, whatever.
Huge. Crazy they knew. They knew that they were like, nope, it's a full gay thing.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
No, I just absolutely love that. He seems like he was there for a day. It seems like he was confused at what was happening. Everyone's level of enthusiasm for this film is very strange.
I love it too, because they're all sort of on this path that's like, it's sort of the best script. And you're like, it's not. I could see everybody being like really passionate, would be like, oh yeah, it's got all these like fairy tales and they cross over in adult ways and everything like that, and they just keep on being like, so it's a shark and he's like a vegetarian, right?
Can I say, but like if you pitch Shrek pre it coming out, you'd be like, that isn't good. And I think everyone working on it was like, I don't think this is great. And I think when it comes out, you're like, holy shit, that was a massive thing. I think you'd be like, listen, I'm not going to be a fool to history. I'm going to bat down, go, that's a great script. I've got a beautiful character, and I'm now going to be confident for it.
It must be like these actors don't have a gauge on what makes a good animated movie script, I guess. Like they're just like, oh, kids will enjoy that, and that's like good.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like how Sean Connery was like turned down on Matrix and Lord of the Rings, and then did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because he was like, well, I didn't understand any of the other scripts, so then this will probably be good. And they were like, no, this is a bad script. And he's like, well, how am I meant to tell the difference? They're all nonsense.
Yeah, it's all ridiculous, okay? Maybe stop making ridiculous films, huh? I'm James fucking Bond.
So when they take Oscar out
Yes.
to kill him,
Yeah.
they're going to electrocute him to death or just
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him?
No, they're electric. I assume this is the equivalent of hooking a car battery up to your nipples and just zapping them.
Yeah.
Because this is the jellyfish doing that. That's
Damn.
in this kid's film. And I think that's the parallel here.
They then, Lenny and his brother are out. They're having a little swim. They've
Yeah.
got to go and get Lenny to eat some fish.
Yes.
While this happens, an anchor comes out of nowhere and falls.
Off, what's his name from Sopranos and White Lotus. I was surprised at him. He's in this. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
yeah.
He was doing it well. They really just got actual like Italian gangsters of film and TV,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You'll be the sharks."
Yeah, I must have been chuffed. They were like, we got Monsters has these connections and we got Sopranos connections. We're fucking fine.
Yeah,
we
that's
got
sweet.
we got everyone. We're fine.
Got everybody from HBO churning out for Shark Tale. What do you mean it didn't make its money back?
This made his money back.
It did okay.
It made $500 million.
Did it? I thought it didn't do that well.
It did.
I'm gonna fact check this.
Fact check it all the way. I was surprised. I wasn't surprised at the budget. It's the biggest stars of 2004.
It made $374 million. $75 million budget. I guess they were cheaper back then.
Yeah.
That's not the runaway hit they want this to be.
No,
though.
it's definitely not the runaway hit. Of course, it's not the runaway hit. But honestly,
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's a fine profit for this film.
It is. God, it has an awful logo.
What's the logo?
Just like the yellow and red with a little fin in the H. It's just a bit lazy as
feel
hell.
Like, but like that's like, look at the Finding Nemo one. That's a tasteful logo. I feel like there's a similar, like there's just a fish in the logo there. Right, man, they really just copied the idea of what Finding Nemo could be.
The Finding Nemo poster is like just art. It's like
No, but the font's a bit odd. What's the font? I feel like it's a similar vibe. There's a shark or like there's a little fish logo or something.
It is. It's like it's the Nemo's a wave.
Oh,
It's like a
can't see it.
and then the O has a little fish in it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Damn, that's good typography.
It's just great typography.
They're pros. Damn.
Look at where is this poster? It's such a lovely poster. Isn't that a great poster?
Yeah, it's great.
With like the whale and Sydney and the shark and all the characters they meet.
Oh my god.
How good. And then you just look at the Shark Tale one.
What, it's Will Smith and Lenny back to back?
Back to back, and then just all of the actors take up all of the poster in just black font. You're like, this one looks like it sold
I
itself
would
out.
love if Finding Nemo did the same thing. It's like, we got Ellen and the guy, what's his name?
Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks,
And-
Ellen. You'd be like, oh, I know which one's going to be the worst film.
They're going to meet Jeffrey Rush and a plethora of Australian celebrities.
We've got Rove.
Oh my god, Finding Nemo is so good. It's
And
so
is
good.
this. Carl, the brother's dead. Lenny runs away, and now Oscar's a shark slayer. He gets fame, he gets wealth, and honestly, his dreams are met.
Who buys this? What do they think he's done to kill this shark?
Yeah. I don't know what you think he's going to kill the shark. Did they not see the anchor? I don't mind. I get them. I wish the plot was more, we want to see you kill a shark.
Yeah.
Not more just like, well, you'll do it again because you've
Yeah.
already done it once. But he's a good teller. He's a good storyteller, Oscar.
I actually think his story's terrible. And it's a mishmash of him being like, I showed him this arm, and then I showed him this arm, and then I did this thing.
You're talking about he doesn't check out factually? What the hell? You tell me this Oscar guy exaggerates?
He's like, I shot him with a smile.
Carl,
This is a tormenting film if you're Robert De Niro's character, right? Losing two of your sons to a fish.
And I do think he's very lazy in what seems to be the recording booth. However, the performance he gives at the end, he's not really in the film for the whole thing, but there's a point where he's like, Oscar's like just done a weird little fun little rap dance, and then Robert De Niro flies in and goes, both my sons are dead. He's floating, he floats in like a shark. Like, you've killed them in cold blood and you dance on my table. I'm here for a meeting because all I want to do is fucking kill you, but I can't. And Oscar's like, let me do a little dance on the table. It's a performance. Oh, God, he's a pro. He's a pro.
Now, I want to bring this up about sharks because I think it's odd that he's only got two shark sons.
Yeah.
Great whites will have up to 17 pups. So where are the rest of his kids?
Where's the wife? Where's the nagging
What do we
shark
think's
wife?
happened?
Here's the thing. Listen, if there's 17 sharks, how gay would the other 15?
Absolutely.
I would love if he has a spectrum of just gay shark sons or daughters. It's powerful. And he's just been like, right, Lenny and the other one can stay.
Yeah, I would have loved if there was a massive subplot about the Robert De Niro shark making a good sauce. That would have been great.
You gotta get the garlic, and it's sea garlic because we couldn't think of a better pun. And you gotta cut it thin. This is jail, shark jail. We have bolognese down here as well.
There is the most Bong Joon-ho Korean plotline about sauce in Mickey 17.
Oh, yeah?
It is just so outlandish that you're like, that's a character, like a character mechanism. That's great.
Oh, damn. I'm really keen to see it. I cannot wait. I will say this had a big Parasite vibe to it, you know? Thoughts? I kind of was like, man, he's looking up the wealth, and maybe the wealth isn't for him, you know?
Wowee.
I will say all his dreams do come true, and I was like, maybe this is how I got my, maybe wealth doesn't feed you. I think his problems are good.
It's crazy he gets everything he wants.
Yeah.
All of it. He even gets the apartment he thought of.
Yeah.
I love the lava lamp joke.
The lava lamp.
But who's making that fucking lava lamp?
I don't know. Again, you need heat and aqua.
It's because it's like it almost feels like she should be giving him like a jar with some light up fish in it that shake or something, and she's like, just shake them when you use it or something. Should be a bunch of like glowing fish.
No, I know, but that's kind of like slavery though in this world. That's the thing that we kind of not on.
Yeah, but it's like because what's lava lamp made out of?
That's like goo.
Isn't that like goo and gas and separates and heat? Doesn't it need heat?
No, it's just wax, and it's just like a liquid water with a certain soluble thing in it, and then you need a heat. You do need heat.
So where's the heat?
Oh, I'm agreeing. I'm saying the electronics in this
Stop
world.
defending this film and show me the heat.
I'll stand by. Listen, the heat is Lenny.
He bumps back into Lenny again.
Yeah.
Lenny's like, what if I stayed with you?
Yes, he pretty much blackmails him like, listen, I gotta run. My dad's being a bitch to me, and I want to become a dolphin. It's a brave plot. They go, let's do a fake little fight.
How much did Lenny the whale-washing dolphin live rent-free in your head?
Pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian, the
whale-washing dolphin
is a line for the ages.
It is.
I think Jack Black delivers a performance you wouldn't believe.
I'd give him the Oscar for the line reading.
I am very keen to see him get an Oscar. I would like to see him get some. I mean, what he didn't get for Bernie, did he?
No.
Why are you laughing about that? That's a good flick, okay?
He might get it for the new Anaconda. Do you reckon he's going to get it for Anaconda?
I hope he does. I don't mind. I feel like one day he's going to do like an Uncut Gems. It's going to be so intense.
He's been good in. Lots of dramatic roles.
Yes.
So I'm sure. Look, he just doesn't come across to me as somebody who really cares about getting one. So
But
he'd have to get it. He'd have to get it in the same way, like.
You kind of have to fall into it.
It would have to be in the same way.
No, Kung Fu Panda 5's coming out, so that's a lock. That's a lock.
Who's the Culkin that just got Kieran Culkin? It'd have to be in the same way of him, where they've given him like the role where he's himself to the nth degree,
Yeah.
and everyone just wants to reward him because they love him in the industry.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say he's not great in A Real Pain, but I just mean I think Jack Black would have to be given such a good Jack Black role that they're like, this is the best Jack Black has been in a Jack Black role, and he should be given an award.
And yet Gulliver's Travels was looked over. It's just not on.
Not. That's because Emily Blunt got the support, you know?
Yeah, she took all the wind out of his sails.
I know.
It's not on.
Everyone was so tiny in that film.
Tiny. Lenny gets fucked up. Lenny gets fucked in the world. This is
Great acting.
It's great acting.
It's great acting.
Yeah. The fish New York is obliterated.
Yeah.
Okay, with a shark.
Yeah.
And it's just not on. But it's pretty great.
Yeah, I think I would have been able to tell it's fake if I was a fish.
Now, what's the intellect of a fish?
It's anywhere from none to not a lot.
Okay. And you think you as a fish would be able to see
I'd push through. I'd be limitless.
you wouldn't believe how many sharks sort of there's serums in the water, and it would be.
We're actually changing this to Limitless Month because everyone seems to be limitless.
Every shark is limitless.
Yes,
it's crazy.
In a way, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
I would take the limitless in a pill, but I'd get nasty with it. Oh my god, take some MDMA as well. God, it'd be so clever. Okay, pretty much. Oscar has everything. He's killed Lenny. Lenny is now living his best life. Is proud. Listen, New York's got a great gay scene. It's really powerful. Now, Oscar, I would
love to see Lenny on RuPaul.
Oh my god,
I would love to see him on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Sebastian, the whale-watching dolphin, on like what's the one where they heckle and they're all in character. It's like the
Snatch Game.
Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, if I was a drag queen, I'd totally do Sebastian the whale-watching dolphin and have everybody be like, what are you referencing?
I'm a gay shark from Shark Tale.
Tale.
Do you not know anything? It'd be crazy if someone did Robert De Niro in that film as well.
Wouldn't be great. I would love to be. I'd be like, I'm Robert De Niro from the behind-the-scenes featurette of Shark Tale, and just
Everyone's like, to toy. We know that. You don't even say it. Yeah, we fucking know. Okay. Lola is turned down by Oscar, and Lola is not happy.
She's upset,
Yeah.
and she should be.
Yeah.
Not that. Look, he was never good for her.
No.
But yeah, so she decides to go right to the sharks, and is like, you should get his girlfriend and kill her.
Yes.
So poor Renee Zellweger's taken in a flash.
She's given so many chances. I just think she gives too much to Oscar. It's just like, leave us, man.
It's genuinely a failed relationship, you can see. Like, it's something it's going to blow up in everyone's face.
Oh, the second it's 5 minutes of fame are done, this is going to be a messy marriage, okay? 40 years old, they're done. They're done.
I think
2 kids, it's going to be brutal.
I think Sykes and Renee Zellweger should have ended up together.
Totally.
God, how many Oscars does this cast have? Renee has 2, Will has 1, Marty has 1.
De Niro has 2. Did that Bob Marley's son get an Oscar? No. I think Angelina Jolie might have won for directing or
she does
producing.
not. No.
Producing?
No, she's never won.
What about that film she was just in? Surely. Not Judy. It was the other one. Like Mary. It was like Martha. I'm so close.
You are. It's an M1. It might be Martha.
No, it's much more sexy.
Marie?
Marie. I think
Is it
Marie.
that? Maria?
Marie? I think about Maria.
We won't look it up.
There's about 8 Oscars on the cast.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's also Oscar nominated, the film.
I know, and there's an Oscar in it.
Man, do you think Will Smith ever, when he was about to slap Chris Rock, it was in Madagascar. Wow, so much. Anyway, do you think he ever holds his Oscar and go, man, I was once called Oscar as a fish? Do you think that ever runs through his mind?
Short answer, yes.
Long answer?
No.
Yes. All right, Carl, we're at the climax of the film. We're doing a sit down. Again, Robert De Niro has lived a horrible...
This plan's bad. Let's not even explain. The plan is bad.
What do you mean? Sebastian, the whale-watching dolphin, is going to eat Renee Zellweger. Sykes is there, and he's just him a bit of muscle, and the sharks are all scared of Oscar.
Yeah.
And they're just going to take Renee, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
What's the issue?
So they're going to get Sebastian to eat Renee, and they know he won't be able to hold it down. And it's like, why doesn't he just leave after he does that? Like, why does he stay?
I think because Sebastian has integrity. He's also a performer, and I think he saw a meaty role. He wanted to rise to the occasion.
And then Oscar's just chewing all the fucking scenery, and everyone's like, could we go? And he's like, nah, not yet.
I've got a little monologue to do. I'm going to dance.
God, you're so annoying. Go.
Listen, he's kind of great, though, isn't he? Kind of back on your own side.
It is wild they revolved a movie around him. And no wonder they had to get, like, Will Smith at the time, who was, like, top of the chain of, like likability to be like, could you just bring some humanity to him? And he's like, I'm going to try, but this character's kind of a cunt.
Good on Will Smith. This is a tough fucking character to make anybody like. And he's fine. But I think if you look at his actions, it's only negative. Anyway, Jack Back spews out Renee Zellweger all over the table. It's pretty vile, but kind of hot. Some sharks eat it up. And then De Niro finds out his son's a dolphin. And it's pretty aggressive.
It is. And that's what makes him get really violent.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
Yeah.
This is a poor climax, in my opinion. They swim out of here, and then they're just at the car wash.
They're at the whale wash. Lenny gets caught up. De Niro also...
Everyone gets there. They just cut to them all there.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there a scene missing?
I couldn't believe how short this film was. It's 80 minutes. That's it. Essentially, they're both, Lenny and his father, are stuck in the whale wash contraptions. I don't even know what these contraptions would be for at the whale wash. I don't know why the whales need to be restrained when they're going through the... Can they not be consent to being cleaned?
I don't get it at all.
Anyway, they're brought to eye, and essentially, Oscar's like, I'm forcing you to accept your son. And De Niro's like, you caught me in a bind. I'm pretty sure you still killed my other son, so I will accept him. And yeah, that's fine. And then they it's pretty cheeky. Oscar's like, we cool? And then De Niro gives this look of,
yeah,
we're cool. And the film goes, aren't you happy? Here's Missy Elliott and Christina Aguilera as fish.
And here's the thing. It's great. Like, they know they've nailed the ending. I was like, this is such a strong ending, but this climax is horrid. It is terrible. Nothing's interesting. Nothing's good looking. It is such a quick, and isn't that the tightest little bow you've ever seen? You're like, this isn't fulfilling at all. And then they're like, but Missy's here. And you're like, yes, she is. This is good fun.
Yeah, Oscar kisses Renee. She shouldn't take him back. Lenny and his father have got a lot more chats to have because it doesn't seem resolved.
It's genuinely feels like they ran out of money. And they were like, oh, you've got to wrap up the film in this scene. They're like, at the car wash?
It does feel like there should be an extra 10 minutes of just why would he just take his son back? I guess because he's like, I've only got one son.
Yeah.
That's a much more sad a tale.
Oh, yeah. It's what makes it kind of hollow and forgettable is the fact the movie does not come together in any way, shape, or form.
We see a man who's bad do a bunch of bad things and then accidentally fall into essentially solves what I could only assume.
He brokers the biggest deal of all time. Peace on all fish.
Yeah, it's like gang violence is now solved in New York, which is, dare I say, the bigger thing other than just killing one of the rival gangs.
What are the sharks eating now? If they're going to be vegetarians,
I assume there's another town over. I assume they've gone to San Diego.
They've just gone to another.
Fucking terrorizing.
They're now over at they're over at the
Long
Finding
Island.
Nemo one.
Oh yeah, they're getting absolutely
Just bumming about.
Oh, getting fucked up. God, that shark's so much more scarier in that than Finding Nemo.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The animation in general is so stunning in Finding Nemo.
I remember there's a documentary for Pixar that's just was the animators trying to work out how to do the jellyfish scene, and it's them working through it over and over again, and then finally one night they bring them all in and they're like, I've done it. I've nailed it. And it's this beautiful scene of the jellyfish. And all I was thinking was, man, when they were in the ghetto section of New York City in Shark Tale, do you think they had the same vibe, the same emotion of I've nailed it?
When Sebastian when they were like, how are we going to make him look like a gay dolphin? And they gave him a cravat. Do we think that's the same thing? The same breakthrough?
I know it was to cover the gills, but it was definitely
that was the thing when he turned around and didn't know, went, whoa, it's a gay metaphor. Whoa, that's hitting you over the head. A cravat?
What, the YMC belt? Just he's got a toolbox. He's a whale washing dolphin. It's a high-rise belt. It's pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, DreamWorks.
Isn't it crazy that some Christian groups are like, hey, we think this is a gay metaphor. They're going, what?
What?
That dolphin character? Don't be ridiculous.
He is a shark. I'd like you to point at this movie because it's going to be telling about you if you think it's gay. And they had to be like, okay, we'll back off, I guess. That's what they were like. We're going to give you God of Egypt or whatever it is.
It was a 50-50. That's the thing.
Yeah, you win one, you lose one.
Yeah. I got to tell you, a good, honestly, if you're a Christian, that's a good trade-off. Guys,
which one?
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt,
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't seen.
You gotta check it out, Carl.
Might.
Yeah.
Road to El Dorado let me down, so I don't know.
I
don't know.
No, that's. I wouldn't watch that, but watch. It's just great.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Road to El Dorado was also very queer coded.
Those two little guys just
Yeah.
vibing out.
There's scenes of them just being naked in El Dorado, and
I'm
you're just
pretty sure you or your partner have done the exact same trip. Just gone we've gone to the Gold
Absolutely.
City and we're gonna bum around for a bit.
we saved everyone.
Do they save people? What's the
Yeah,
plot?
it's just no, we're not gonna. This
Okay.
needs to wrap up.
Carl, who would watch Shark Tale?
This is for. I think at the time, if kids were like, oh, I loved Finding Nemo, I want more Finding Nemo. Finding Dory hadn't come out, so they were just here, just eat a lot of Shark Tale.
Yeah.
So they were like, yum, 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 love Shark Tale. And then Finding Dory came out, and then they were just like, well, I don't love that.
Yeah.
So now they're just stuck with these two.
It's crazy you're explaining my exact experience with these films.
Yeah.
Because I watched Finding Nemo in cinema. I guess the DVD must have been pretty expensive, but I'm pretty sure the 5-pack of DreamWorks DVDs were much cheaper.
Yeah.
And Mum and Dad were like, hey, you're going to be eating this for a while. And I did, and I ate it well.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's
Good,
good
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, who would watch this? Anyone who loves to laugh. Plot-wise, don't do it. And dare I say, that's a bad rule of comedy. But if you like laughing in the moment and then forgetting it, my God, check this one out.
Absolutely sprinkled with humor.
Yeah.
It is. It's tight in that regard.
It's that Shrek 3 vibe. If you like Shrek 3 because it's funny, but you couldn't. If you couldn't care less about what's his name, not Merlin, Artie.
Artie. Do we reckon Artie's coming back in the new one? I'd love Artie to come back.
I hope Justin Timberlake has to go on the press tour and he's just strung out.
I reckon it would be so funny if they did a the world tour joke with Artie in Shrek 5. I reckon that would get it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I hope they do something. Who's like,
Bring everyone back.
Yeah,
I want everybody back from the other
Prince
ones.
Charming's dead. Who's in the fourth one? Oh, Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, that's an alternate
don't need
universe.
him.
No, you just need the third. You just need Artie
Yeah.
and Merlin. I would
Yeah.
love a bit more Merlin.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oscar, who watched Shark Tale?
If you're a long-time collaborator between Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese, you like all the other work, I gotta tell you, this fits just below Goodfellas and The Departed. Carl, who would watch Shark Tale?
If you love a movie that begins and ends with a worm on a hook, this is for you. Oscar, who would watch Shark Tale?
If your name is Oscar, I think you'll get a lot out of this because I am called Oscar. So if your name's Oscar, check out this one. Oscar the Shark Slayer. Carl, who would watch Shark Tale?
If you want to have a proper understanding of the ocean, this is for you.
Yeah.
Oscar, who would watch Shark Tale?
If you've got a horrible betting disease, maybe keep going because it might all work out. Carl, who would watch Shark Tale?
If your kids need to be introduced to the concept of gambling, this film finally gets it.
Yeah.
Oscar, what are we watching next week?
Carl, next week we are jumping into the third dimension. That's right. This podcast has only been recorded in the one dimension. It's been a singular audio medium.
Conversation never gets out of being one-dimensional, too.
Yeah, that's right. The characters are bland. Now, we're going to be jumping into the third dimension with a shark 3D. We're not sure which one, but we'll figure it out, huh? Stick around for that. Thank you for listening.